to a Friday edition of NFT Live on the Web3 Network. We're going to take you around the industry and back in, I swear to God, 1 hard hour. I'm sitting up here with some awesome creators, Biggie Poppins, Huda, Gifted. I am Nifty Q. Let's have an adventure today, fellas. We haven't had a Friday episode on this network in damn near 2 years, probably, since Crypto Buffalo was over there behind the sticks. So this is going to be a fun one. I'm excited to have everybody in here. They made some time today. Gifted made some time to sneeze into his into my ear as we get started, sir. All right, Biggie Poppins, what's up, brother? What's going on?
It's a fucking wonderful Friday. I've got the vibes. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Just having a good time, man. It's good times in crypto, so I'm having a good time.
I love it, man. You were coming in here with some tunes. I always love that, so I appreciate you.
Always, man. Always.
Congrats on your watch. Huda, what's happening, brother?
1 hour. I'll believe it when I see it, first off, but I can't wait. Did you guys know that? What?
No, I'm saying I will literally. We can be in the middle of a speech and I will turn this show off. I am trying to do 1 hard hour. We will see what happens. But sorry, go ahead, dude.
Yeah, I didn't know. Do you guys know we just had our best day of sales yesterday in all of 2024, which is all of 12 days, but still our best day. Right on the heels of the Bitcoin ETF approval, which is fucking awesome. But also our best day in like 17 days. So we kind of started like hitting this little slump at the end of December. And yesterday just kind of lit us on fire. I didn't count exactly how many CryptoPunk sales there were, but sweeps across CryptoPunks, sweeps across Art Blocks collections, a ton of Chromie Squiggles. We saw some Fidenza sales. So you're seeing now collectors and brand new investors. I see people saying like brand new wallets that are coming in. And they're doing what those guys do. They grab the grails first. And that is always an indicator of a run that's coming. So, man, I'm feeling very optimistic here.
I love it, man. All right, let's get to Gifted here, sitting in a new spot with a new jersey on.
I was trying to get y'all to give me a proper audio check, and you said I was coming through this mic, but I wasn't. So my bad for the weird noise. And yeah, if new wall is it good now? Is it this?
Yeah,
one?
we're good. We're good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, look, we're trying out this is a new setup. It's a Friday setup. It's more relaxed, trying to have a good time.
I love it.
And yeah, seeing new wallets come in is really like the thing that I've been waiting for to actually signal that there's some growth, or maybe the bull market is actually really gonna come back. I mean, I know that we've all been like seeing a cycle out, but if there's really new wallets coming in, like that's a big deal.
Huge deal. And it's a huge deal to have you with us here on a Friday episode. All of the co-hosts up here are going to do their best to deliver the goods here before we head into the weekend. Although these guys right down here, these two guys, like, don't stop on the weekends. Is that what I'm being told? Like, you guys are doing something here on Saturday?
Permanently career.
Biggie's been joining now. So I've been doing these Saturday live streams now for probably 3 months. Just so honestly, to give me a break from those 5-minute like daily videos. So I still wanted to do daily, but the live show just, I don't know, keeps it a little more casual for me. So yeah, Biggie joined last week for the first time. He's welcome every damn show. And so are you guys too. It is that kind of show. People can just pop in. But yeah, we go 7 days a week.
What do you got to say about that, Biggie Poppins?
Dude, I had such a blast. I said it last time. I'll say it again. It was Huda. It was Henry the Grape. It was awesome. It's my 6 a.m, but I couldn't wait to get the fuck out of bed, man. That's how I am right now, man. That's literally how I'm feeling. It's just too much adrenaline flowing through these fucking veins.
All right.
Sleep is hard.
Let's get it, man. You know what? Before we blast off on this spaceship, as Gifted looks like half awake or something, just not able to.
Dude, the idea of doing a live stream at 6 a.m. is painful,
scary.
Me, but,
the older you get, the more that's going to sound awesome to you. I promise.
All right, Gif, hit him with the disclaimer before we blast off on this rocket ship. Great to see everyone that is chatting here early. SP, Nifty Castle, Nick Swervis, Christian Jensen, Marty McFly. Love to see you guys here early.
I don't know how this became my job exactly, or why I'm the only person.
You leaned into it. Don't stop. You leaned into it.
I'm the only person that can do the handy dandy. But look, it's important that we remind everybody, every show and every episode that we do, that this is not and never has been and never will be financial advices. We're not financial advisors. And we're going to keep working on our tests. We're trying to get our test scores up. Maybe one day you'll come on here and we'll be like, this is financial advice. Do what we say. But no, until then, just remember, do your own research. And we're just talking about cool shit on the internet. And it's all up to you. It's not up to us, whatever happens with your money.
There you go. That's why you do it, because you're the best at it, Gift Ed. All right, here's the episode for today that we're going to get into. Nifty Island released some details to go with their play to earn kind of thing that they're doing here next week. They're kind of basically what they're doing is integrating a bunch of different communities into the gameplay, a la what I think Other Side is trying to do, what Sandbox has done in the past. And you're going to see this coming out next week. And there's a play to earn mechanic that goes along with this. dotSWOOSH had some really cool stuff come out right before we press live. We've got Airdrops to hit. We also have some other alt-chain activities. SEI is continuously heating up as we kind of look at that. Bitcoin Ordinals and NFT floors to discuss here on today's episode. So I'm going to drop that X link for y'all to go hit. If you can repost, if you can like on YouTube as well. We want to get as many folks in here, of course, as possible. All right, to get us started here, Gift Ed, you were not here earlier in the week when we did, I believe, our January 1st. Oh, man, was this last week? January 2nd, we did a Rate My Bags. I want to quickly get your take here, Gift, because all three of us were here on the shows. It's a Friday episode. I want to keep it a little loose. We got the SAB, CD, and Wrecked Cemetery that was added to the past list. I just wanted you to take a quick look. I know I didn't give you the 48 hours warning, but from this updated now 2024 Rate My Bags edition, what are your thoughts?
Well, importantly, I see that you kept Yetis where they belong. They really are truly the anchor of the S category. The one thing that I saw briefly when we looked at this yesterday that really upset me was the fact that you wrecked the Chungos. And I'm still going to have to take that up with management. HR is going to be hearing about this.
That's on an IHOP.
Also, the Biao fam is down there, and I still haven't received mine from our bet. So I'll make sure to get you that collection today, just so you can follow through on your word. I know you're good for your word on that one.
You're stalling, sir. I want to hear
you. Yeah. Well, what's the question again?
My God.
What are we doing here? Well, I mean,
what are your thoughts
Clonex, okay, look, you've got why do you have captains in A?
We do
captains
have
no Pepin or an A and nothing else. I'm a little bit confused right off the bat by that. I feel like there's a lot of other projects that deserve an A tier ranking over captains and Opepin.
Who's that?
But no,
I mean, look, Clonex is around 1 ETH now, but even them, like, I feel like deserves it more. Fucking nouns. Like, how are you going to sleep on nouns that hard? Like, they don't deserve to be above an Opepin.
Deserves got nothing to do with it, sir.
Deserves has nothing to. Okay, I guess this is the new year, new algorithm, new algorithm. New year.
You leave for 1 month.
I'm behind on how the algorithm's working now. Biggie's gonna tell me.
It's just basically we're obviously changing this to do it every month, so it's more recency playing into this poll now and these Rate My Bags additions here. So yeah, maybe not deserves is a little bit different. We did get rid of a lot of collections for that reason, because we're kind of taking on that monthly basis. A lot of the older collections were left off.
That's my real feedback, is this doesn't feel complete or well thought out yet. It feels like y'all started. It feels like you started and you didn't finish yet. And that's fine. I'm back. So now we'll get it right in the next time. And,
all right.
Sorry.
So a couple, like Pudgy Penguins, do you believe it to be an S tier? That was a big contentious one.
I think Pudgy Penguins deserves to be there almost as much as anybody. I know this whole deserves thing, right? But I mean, look, there's a lot of things that goes into the deserves. Like, how do you get there? There's a lot of factors, all right, that I'm factoring into that. But I think at this point, you can probably make a case that Pudgy Penguins are S tier or gonna, yeah. I think they
on the road.
Thank you.
Yeah,
they're on the road. They just
but here's one of the things, like, again, historically, I don't know how the algorithm works now. Again, I'm totally missing it. But to me, one of the things that has always really mattered in terms of the algorithm is trajectory directionally. Like, and that's kind of like recency bias a little bit. And I think trajectory wise, like, they've shown that they clearly throughout this whole bear market and even recently, I think they deserve to be there more than most projects.
Yeah, I think GIF, my my maybe main point was they separated themselves from the rest of the A tiers, and it was just that simple. They don't look like any of the others in the A tier. I'm all for bringing others up to A tier if Pudgy Penguins are also not in that category. Also, is the entire Wax blockchain in the wrecked category?
Yes,
every single Wax.
I'm glad that you brought this up because absolutely yes.
That's incredible.
Do you have one Wax project that has separated itself, sir?
No, I'll put them there because I lost access to my wallet and they won't help me get access to it again. So
wow.
Hey, what
Haven't
if
opened
we
up that wallet.
What if we teleburned all Wax NFTs into Bitcoin also? Do you think that would help them out, or it would just
they
be
got
like
in early enough
shit on Bitcoin?
No.
That'd just be spamming the Bitcoin network with a bunch of junk, wouldn't it?
Believe me, I love Wax. I really do. That was like pretty much my start in NFTs. I have very fond memories of them, but
okay.
yeah.
So strong words for the Pudgy Penguins here, saying that they probably should be an S. We did have a bunch of additions. It had been a while. You know, the meta is shifting, of course, to other chains. So Tensorians, I think Bitcoin Frogs might have been on here, but we had is that Node Monkeys?
Yeah.
Mochaverse, Claynosaurs, Gift. Do you have any takes here on the new additions potentially? Because we did see Saiyans as well, so we got some Say NFTs up here. Wow. Ferganas in C.
I don't know that Say is established enough to make it into this. Here's what I mean. Here's what I mean. Here's all I'm saying. I think that maybe in another month or two, we start to look at Say and be like, okay, this is gonna stick around. Let's start to take the best out of this and incorporate it. It took us a long time to like start to add in Solana. You know what I mean? Like this was originally just Ethereum, and then eventually we're like, okay, there's one or two Solana projects that have kind of like shown that they're really valuable actual communities. And I'm just saying, Say, I don't know that we have enough of a track record yet to start to incorporate them, but I could see incorporating them.
Okay.
In the next couple months.
All right. Well, light start there with the Rate My Bags. Of course, we'll hopefully have the whole crew for the 15th edition there to get out in February. I cannot believe it's almost halfway through January, by the way. That's freaking ridiculous. All right, guys, let's start with this big news piece that I wanted to touch on right off the bat, which is the Nifty Island releasing different details here. I believe I still have the trailer. So let's watch again the trailer that they put out, I believe, last week, and then let's dive into the details and see if there's anything interesting before we get going.
You're muted, bro.
Yeah, as you can see there, we are going live here on the 17th. So Jan 17, that is going to be Wednesday of next week. They're going to have this play to airdrop campaign go live. They're going to have all of these different collections inside of their game. They've been building for about 2 years. So this is a very big moment for that team. Really cool to see IP showed off in that way. While we dive into the details, do you guys have any quick thoughts on what's happening next week with Nifty Island?
So love it, but man, it's weird. We're at a point where like I see these game trailers and I don't get excited anymore. Like it's already watered down and the games aren't even out there to really start playing yet. And I wonder if people realize how watered down it's going to get. And by that, I just mean how many games they're going to be. Like as a gamer, you guys, as a gamer for decades even, you remember when games were few and far between. There was a couple great games a year if you were lucky. And as time went on, just great games every fucking week almost, it feels like. Man, I just think we're going to get so many games that things like this are going to look like a dime a dozen. And again, for me, I barely get excited other than, like, to your point, great to see the IP starting to get used, because one of these games will hit in a big way. So I'll be playing it. I want to see what it's all about, but just having a game that looks good, like the trailer, it's not enough for me yet.
Yeah, a lot of that happened with the metaverse too, right? Like there were a couple different projects, CryptoVoxels, Decentraland, that launched first, and everyone was kind of excited about it. And then everybody and their mother was trying to launch a metaverse. So I could kind of see what you're getting at. Guys, any quick thoughts before we dive into the details here?
I agree. Huda's take. I still like the. Sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I like Huda's take. Always like, err on the sober side of things. Though I still get pumped with all the trailers. I am a trailer maxi. It looks cool, man. I again, like you said, it depends on how well it plays, right? Makes me a little nervous for them.
Yeah, the cinematic trailer thing, unfortunately, like Huda's saying, doesn't really sell a game for me either. Like it is cool. I basically agree with Huda, because it's great to see the IP. But until you see it actually perform and like the gameplay be really fucking cool and see them execute on launching the game and making it actually valuable and interesting for people to stick around, then like that's all that matters.
It honestly might be the first time we see some of these major IPs playing together in some type of metaverse environment. Unless I'm mistaken, I don't think anyone's particularly done that yet. I know Sandbox has tried to do some of that, but it's in a pixelated environment and it can get a little bit clunky. They just have. I just think if they can pull this off in a more less pixelated environment, I guess there might be some really cool stuff that you'll see from videos where a Bored Ape is killing a cool cats or something. I think it's the first time we'll see it. Anyways, the details, and guys, hop in whenever. We can go through this pretty quickly. Nifty Island is a community-first gaming platform allowing users to build their own islands, explore player-created islands, compete for rewards, create games, avatars, and weapons. That is very much a line and it details that you would see in something like a Sandbox. The collaborations, they're working with different IPs, obviously BAYC, Cool Cats, A Kid Called Beast, Chimpers was in that as well. And I do see your comment, Squash, that I'll touch on in just a moment. What do you want to do? You can build your own island for free. You can join battle royales, racing, capture the flags, and there will be rewards offering deep game utility, ETH rewards, palms, and much more. Play to Airdrop is all about rewarding play, creativity, and participation. Will you join? So there's going to be basically quests that you can complete inside of this game that you potentially can get, palm rewards, NFT rewards, ETH rewards. So that's what everyone's kind of focusing on here. Any thoughts on that before I move on, guys?
Well, just that it sounds like mini games, and that's kind of what we're used to seeing, and it yet again just does not excite me at all. So if the rewards are killer, that changes things a bit. Like that'll get me at least testing it out and seeing if I can stomach it enough to like play for those rewards. But mini games, again, they don't do it for me anymore. Something like the Forgotten Runeverse, that's more what I'm interested in, like a deeper like open world RPG kind of thing. This not so much.
Yeah, it does sure seem like these, like what you're calling them, mini games, or like Super NES type of games. Like, I guess I'd be more attracted to them if they were on chain, the way some people have been able to do that already, right? Like just to kill time real quick, or if they were like on mobile, so that you can do while you're in line or something. Like, it's not something that I'd be looking to partake in, honestly, in front of my desktop. My take.
This whole user-generated content is a meta that's pretty much taking over gaming in general. I mean, we know that this has always been a thing. We talked about how Dota and League of Legends were built out of literally a third-party like dev team or just a guy creating a type of environment in World of Warcraft, or I'm sorry, Warcraft 3, and then it became the largest gameplay in the world. So we've seen this, but it feels like with what Fortnite's trying to do with allowing people to create different maps, and now you see here, it's going to basically be different communities creating a Pudgy Iceberg party, an MF or PvP. This seems like a meta that's going to just continue to rise like into the future.
Yeah, I like it for mini events. Like I think that's perfect, where we used to have like, Discord gatherings. We'd hop in VC, we'd have little parties around that. And eventually we started doing that on Cyber. I actually do prefer this to any of that. I want to hop in a video game. That's where mini games make sense to me, right? Again, a community themed party around it. So if that's a little of what you can do here, which in a way it is, that I like.
Okay, we're going to hop out of here in just a moment. Marty McFly saying Pudgy's not an S, maybe an A, but not an S. Choin is here. Great to see the tribe live on a Friday, OVOT. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Choina.
There, Choina. It's good to see you as well. Cats Fanatic saying OVOT, I got too distracted with all the Valyria pack openings. I did see those videos popping up on my feed. I know the pack holdings went primarily to landholders because they got first access. Squash also saying they're going to support Base and a Coinbase wallet on release. Not sure if you saw that. That was interesting, guys. I was talking about that on-chain Dinos release that was like a free mint here on Base maybe a week ago. You got I woke up to a crazy announcement saying buckle up, Base Downs, and on-chain Dinos, which is a very small collection. This collection's on like 5 ETH in volume. Our first up for community integrations here on Nifty Island. So
interesting.
Okay, guys, any last thoughts here? And then we can move on to this Nike dotSWOOSH update that seems to be pretty awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say, like, when you look at what Base Test is doing, right, with Fortnite using UEFN, I feel like a lot of these people that are going to be enticed to come into crypto, in crypto gaming, are gonna feel more comfortable coming into a platform that they're already familiar with, right? So that's where I think, like, things like Sandbox and Nifty Island, as cool attempts as it may be, it's a monumental order, right? And I think, yeah, maybe they took too long to deliver the product, but at this point, what I'm seeing coming out of like based heads and that's just one studio, one group of people doing this, but you're gonna see a flood of people using this open source to create these worlds and these games, and it's already a platform that they're familiar with. Not to mention Roblox, I'm sure is like gonna be rolling into this space as well. It's gonna be a tall order, man.
And whatever Portal has going on, I still don't quite understand what they're doing, but it sounds like they're happily tapping into like mainstream games. So yeah, these blockchain like native games are going to have a lot of very, very tough competition.
What's Portal?
What is Portal?
I feel like
whatever happened to Portal? I've seen some trailers recently. Yes, they're ramping up whatever, but
again.
Biggest story in the space. Nobody really knows what's up anymore. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, there were a ton of updates there for Portal over the last 48 hours. Maybe we can hop into that. Anyways, here's the update from dotSWOOSH. This was a really cool lean in from Nike, or basically their offshoot, obviously their Web3 offshoot. It's a new year and a new path forward for dotSWOOSH. So we're kicking off 2024 with a quick recap of what we learned, where we're going. The one that sticks out to me, guys, is that they're going to be using and integrating a lot of their releases into in-game wearables. I think we saw this in Fortnite, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They're looking to integrate some in-game wearables there, but also this piece here. All that said, we recognize how important it is for you to have control over digital collectibles, and so in the second half of this year, we'll be allowing you to off-ramp your collectibles to your own wallet. Did you guys see that coming from dotSWOOSH like this quickly? I guess they said second half of the year, so it's still about 6 months out, potentially at the earliest, but they're actually opening up that marketplace where it was kind of a closed environment before.
That's smart, I think, especially when you see, what's been going on with Apple and their closed garden and the lawsuit that they just lost not too long ago. I mean, I think a lot of these different ecosystems are getting the message, right? That keeping things open is the way to go.
Yeah, cool. I mean, trade on secondary, but did they have a comment on using in other games? Because we were all hoping, right, you use the shoes in Madden and in whatever other sports games. And like you said, in Fortnite would be freaking awesome. They had that collab briefly where you couldn't wear the shoes, actually. There's no NFT integration there. But if this is a step, like heading towards that direction, then fuck yeah.
Who? That's a great question because I don't know what games they're specifically talking about, right? Like Nike doesn't have a studio that makes these games. They would have to partner with something like a Fortnite saying, "Oh, you could wear your Nikes and
Right.
show them off." Using the quotes here, they're saying in-game wearables are different than our digital collectibles like OF1, and we brought up OF1 a bunch on the channel. I believe Gifted has also collected some of those. Because you can purchase and wear these collections directly in your favorite video games. You'll also be able to unlock exclusive physical apparel and footwear in the real world based on the in-game wearable you purchased.
Yeah. I mean, this is like a baby step in that direction. Maybe it's a giant step and they just haven't explained it well and maybe on purpose. But yeah, I mean, that has to happen for that next step to actually use these in those big games. And I do think that's coming. Man, I remember Orange Comet was, I don't know if they still are, but building their own metaverse. And those like Dennis Rodman Nike shoes, I think, you were going to be able to wear those in something. And I swear there was a Grand Theft Auto mention there. So like that shit's all coming. Don't know when, but again, I think this is a piece of that.
Gif, I think you're the only one that's collected dotSWOOSH up here. I don't know if I'm misrepresenting the other two here. I definitely am not. What are your thoughts here?
I think it's great that they're continuing to build it. The way that they're doing these different assets and all the different parts of it is still a little bit confusing. So I think what's upsetting about it to me right now is that after I minted and revealed them, I really haven't had any good reasons to be going back to the platform yet. Right. And so that's what worries me, is that it's like, okay, this is just going to be something that I check in on like once or twice a year. Like that's not really a super engaging experience that's really valuable to me at that point. Like, why am I going to keep investing into it if I'm not really seeing more engagement? And I don't know if they ever even launched their marketplace yet. Like after those OF1s revealed, you couldn't even trade them. So they built their own Polygon platform, which is great. Again, that's what Polygon's good for. It's like your own brand platform and marketplace, but they didn't even have a marketplace yet. And I don't even think that they've launched that yet. So I'm sure it's part of the roadmap, but how long is it going to take?
Is this maybe a sign that they're not going to have a marketplace
I would guess
on their platform? Like, could be, because I've been waiting for that to open up. I missed the sale. I actually meant to get in on that sale, and I just kept waiting and waiting, and I missed it. So I've been waiting to go buy those off people on secondary. I was going to do it, and it still has not happened. But yeah, that would be interesting if they're just going to scrap the marketplace entirely. And this move here is to get it out of their hands, and maybe there's tax reasons and legal reasons they don't want them sold on their site. But
it feels like they're like offloading that responsibility to maybe a third-party marketplace with this announcement. They're saying we're opening up to secondary trading. Go and do that. Like, we'll create the products. You guys can go trade it somewhere else.
I think we're cracking the code here, honestly.
There you go. All right, we're gonna move on into the next topic. I can't do that without talking about easy and crypto first, though. OVOT fam, nice to see you. We've got some OGs in the house for a Friday episode here on the channel.
It's Friday, please.
All right.
What do you guys think? You like the Friday show? Like cool shit, right?
Feeling the vibes.
Biggie's
listening to...
Yeah, I'm fucking jamming.
It gives me an excuse to sit on my couch and care less. So,
ouch. That hurts.
No, I still care a lot, but you know what I mean. Like it's like
it's like casual Friday. I get
casual. Friday. Yeah,
it's coming in with the messy jersey. All right, it's been about 48 hours since the ETF approval here. So we're in that PE world, or PA, post ET. Now PE, I like PE. We're in that post PE world. A lot of trading volume going into these ETFs. I think they broke multiple records there. This is from Xerox Ramen saying 4.6 billion traded across the 11 new ETFs, 2.3 excluding GPTC. 146 worth of BTC were seeded excluding GPTC. And so that's, basically indicating a lot.
Minting GBTC. Are they minting?
Yeah, they're minting off this drop. The Bitcoin ETFs were dropped. Now the boomers are minting. I like it.
Yes. Aping in, as they say. I like that.
All right. Along with this, we have now moved on because, again, the space moves impossibly fast.
Anecdotally, I was listening to Shark Anthony talking about how yesterday his dad gave him a call and was like, Have you heard about this Ethereum thing? Apparently they're thinking that there's going to be an Ethereum ETF next. What's that all about?
So front running the next piece. I love it.
The boomers are talking about this shit now, and now they're all aware, like, oh wait, this is happening, and maybe I should pay attention to this Ethereum thingy that my kids have been talking about for years that I thought was all nonsense.
Yeah. Man, it'd be great to see ETH outperform Bitcoin for a little bit at least here. I think we're well overdue, guys.
I think long term it just has to, based on where it is on the market cap rating. Like, I don't know, is it half the market cap of Bitcoin or even further than that?
Dude, I think not even, but good question.
Yeah, I need to look there in a second. But yeah, Gifted talking about the Ethereum ETF. Well, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink saying that they see value in having an Ethereum ETF. So you can see that ETH has performed relatively well. I don't think it touched 2,700, but it's been flirting with it. And now it's at 25.93, a little bit of a pullback, especially for Bitcoin. Geez, falling off a little bit.
The market cap. Wow.
Yeah, third there. Yep.
Damn.
I think Ethereum, this is not financial advice, but that's where I've always told folks to kind of interact because of how much activity that we are doing on a daily basis. Yep. Bitcoin has just shook that narrative a little bit in the past year, but there's still a lot of activity here underneath.
We got Charlie Smith, the founder in the chat. Yeah. He's saying he wants to come on. Can we get him a link?
Yes. He wants to come on right now. Okay.
I mean, he says game to hop on anytime. So Charlie, hey, we can get you a link right now, bro.
Best vibes,
sir. This is a Friday episode here, so we're a little bit laid back. If you want to have a chill vibe here and you want to talk about what you guys have coming, or we can get you on next week a little bit more buttoned up, a little bit less Jersey action, probably.
Ooh, it's about the same damn show.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm a totally different person today. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right. So Charlie, let us know and maybe reach out to Gifted on X and we can see if we can hit him with that link. Gif, I'm going to put the link there in the private chat for you to give to him. All right. So this is the market here. Obviously, Bitcoin falling off a little bit, but Ethereum has performed really well. You can see it up 60% on the 7-day, where others have now kind of fallen into that red category. Beanie. And here's the thing, guys. Like, Beanie's always a controversial figure. I don't even know how we all feel about him. Like, I almost feel like we need a little bit of a historical perspective, because Beanie feels like he's like one of the bigger mouthpieces and influencers here, even now in this cycle, even though he's had a checkered past. And he's had a lot of good takes. I know DP was saying, hey, I hate how much I'm agreeing with Beanie these days. This one's very interesting, though. I was wrong about ETH not having legs. He's been shitting on ETH for like the last month, by the way. It's saying that it's all going to go to things like SEI and all these other pieces. Although I've been saying it for a month now, just not at the ETH BTC bottom. But ETH resilience has surprised me. Market is never wrong. I take the L for now. I'm taking advantage by aggressively moving from ETH to BTC where I have liquidity.
I freaking love Beanie. I really do. I think he's got honest takes. I really do. I know he's a master of marketing and getting himself in the right place at the right time and getting just the maximum amount of attention. He's an expert at it, but I do think his takes are always honest and that he believes what he says. I'm happy to see him swing back around to the ETH side, because he made a hard turn away from it before. So him being a little more optimistic about Ethereum has me a little more optimistic about it, and I didn't lose faith in it. But again, it's just great to see Beanie on Team ETH again.
Biggie, what are your thoughts?
You guys, I love Beanie.
Fucking.
Sir? Do you know what Beanie did back in the day, though? Do we know? Okay.
Like the whole history. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the guy's got that little funky hat, right? So that's how I don't know, man. Fucking clown. But I mean, just really, like, Ethereum resilience surprised you. You thought it was gonna fucking crash and go to zero. I'm sorry, I just can't take any of that. I think he's just, I don't know. Like you said, Huda, I think he means what he says. He believes he means what he says. It's incredible that he can't just take a peek back and see how often he flip-flops.
Yeah.
But maybe you should look up the word conviction in the dictionary and see what it means. And it's fine. Like, honestly, like, he's entitled to his takes. I think I find him entertaining. Yeah. I don't fucking hate him. But like, Jesus, come on, like really, Ethereum was you're surprised? Like that's like saying, oh, and I mean, you might as well say I'm surprised fucking Bitcoin like survived. It's like,
I think he just got drunk on this past narrative. It was really exciting over on Bitcoin, and which he missed too. He missed the whole Bitcoin thing, but the Solana stuff and the L2s, it was very, very easy to get excited about that. And in a way, think that is not the death of Ethereum, but a change in how we need to think about Ethereum. The fact is, though, we always knew those L2s were going to be a major component of ETH. We always knew the space was going to spread out from Ethereum, and I just think he got caught up in it briefly, maybe a little too much.
I'm interested, like, short of having a tech conversation and devs on, I'm interested in Ethereum's like long-term viability. If we're bringing even more activity on the chain, like what tech is being actually worked on here that can evolve in 2 years when we have twice the amount of people and we are trying to do things on the chain. So I know that there's always things being worked on. We saw ETH 2.0 launch last year, so there's always things, but and Biggie's allergic to that combo. But anyway.
Yeah. No, I was discussing this the other day in another room, whatever channel chat thing. And I was trying to I really enjoyed coming up with different mental models or comparisons on what this can be, right? Like when you look back at these like huge changes in technology, you try to find comparables, right? And recently, one of the things that I was thinking about, Huda, that we've talked about here too, is like if you were to put these protocols right in context of back in the day when internet was being invented or was rolling out, right? Like, okay, so if Bitcoin is the IPFS, the storage component, right, of this whole new network that we're developing, right? What would ETH be? To me, it's DNS, right? It's the rails, it's like the reference point for all the rest of the L2s. And to me, the L2s, in my opinion, are the ones that are really going to have to battle it out to attract these dApps and these projects to build and flourish there, right? Because it only takes one, I think, to justify their existence. Say something like FriendTech. If FriendTech would have taken off and become the new Web3 social media platform, that's all you need for a reason for Base to exist, right? I think that's what's going to happen, right? But Ethereum will always be there, very much like Bitcoin, as a source of truth, right? As a place where you go and verify all these different rollups and these different transactions, right? And obviously, like the major, more sensitive transactions that you need to get done, you probably do them on Bitcoin or Ethereum. Otherwise, you're going to be going to these different chains, and there's going to be more than one or two or three. I think it's going to be multiple, right? Again, we've talked about it in this channel. They have their own vibe, their own culture, sometimes their own geographies that adopt them. But it's going to come down to the product that they shipped and the communities that they build within them. I'm done.
It would be cool to see Bitcoin still as the IPFS. We've talked about this. So Bitcoin is the IPFS kind of layer or product for all of blockchain, all of Web3. Ethereum is like the network level, and then the L2s are where the applications live. I mean, they all really could connect together that way. That's very, very real possibility.
All right. Friday episodes get a little weird here. We're starting the tradition back again. And we do have Charlie Smith from Nifty Island in the green room here. Before we bring him in, thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's our first time doing this. Some folks probably don't even know that we are live right now, but you guys are the real ones for showing up here live afterwards, all of that stuff. You guys have been fantastic all the way through. OVOT, Gifted, what is happening? What are you doing? You're muted, sir.
I'm just excited to talk to Charlie, man.
Okay.
What do you mean?
All right, sounds good. Well, we're gonna bring Charlie in here. Hopefully, like we didn't have the chance to do the audio test prior, so it's just we'll do it live. Let's
Casual Friday.
Let's Pentagon this in here. Charlie, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm good. Is my audio good?
Hey,
Perfecto.
what's up, man?
Flawless.
Hell yeah. Good to be here. Good to be here. How you guys doing?
Good, brother. How about yourself?
Dude, I'm good. Just grinding. We're launching this game in a week, so just kind of enjoying myself. Yeah, it's been fun. I don't know if I'm still coming through. I moved. There I am. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to give you the stage, man. So I'm moving you around a little bit. Listen, Huda said he's not playing the game, so you gotta tell me how we get Huda in the game. What are we doing to get him interested?
Did I
here,
say
what you're
that?
building?
Did
No,
I say like
I know.
Okay, thank you.
I'm
Because
building energy.
I plan on hopping in and checking it out.
Huda said, I'm never playing this garbage. It looks awful. But it was all this guy. I don't know what he's thinking.
He doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean it. We're gonna play. We'll personally play together.
Dude, yes. Thank you.
Love it. So we pulled up the trailer. We pulled up some details, man. But obviously, we would love to hear from the horse's mouth. Like, what's happening next week? What are the details you can give us? How do we get involved? All that good stuff.
Yeah. So this Wednesday, full open beta of the game. So it's not a vertical slice or a demo or an experiment. It's the full platform that will open up to everyone. There'll be about 120 communities integrated in there. Almost 200,000 token gated avatars that correspond to individual NFTs that people own in different collections. There'll be tons of games to play on your island, prizes to win, and an airdrop you can farm all on day one. And it will be a good time.
How are you able to pull that off from a tech perspective? Getting 122 different 120 different characters from these different collections into this game right now?
Yeah. Really, it's the way to think about it is every game has a sort of content pipeline that takes like a 3D asset, some sort of art asset, and pumps it into a game. Usually, you know what's going in and you know what's coming out. But with a UGC game world, anything could be going into the pipeline. That makes it particularly challenging. And so we spent a long time building a pipeline that can pull in avatars and token gate them very easily. And that's basically it. And so we work with all the big NFT projects to make sure they have a great experience. And I think they will. It'll be good.
So are the avatars, are they like the full 10K collections? Is everyone who plays going to have their own unique avatar to pick in game? Or is there like one that represents each collection?
Depends. So in many cases, we have every single one, every single Forgotten Rune, every Meebit. You can play as your individual Clonex, every Bored Ape. We might have an announcement that's Pudgy related soon. We'll see. Wow. And then we'll have lots of Sappy Seals, but not every one. But there's a ton that we have every single one for, every VX Kong. Wow. And then there's some that we only have one, but it's still it's still great. So Kanpai Panda, we have one base avatar for example, but there's many that are that way.
Yeah, just so guys know, that's a huge undertaking, right? I know a lot of games that you get, again, just one model, maybe a couple you can pick from per collection. To get all 10K in for even just one collection is huge. Good work, guys. Jesus.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it should be good. I think people want to see it. People have enjoyed their NFTs as PFPs for a long time in Discord and Twitter, and we're trying to open up a new dimension of the NFT experience. That's sort of the goal, is to show that they can exist outside of those venues we're used to seeing them in, and hopefully open up a whole new sort of arena for NFTs. That's the goal.
Nice.
What's your sleep schedule look like right now?
GIF asking the hard-hitting questions.
So, I'd say I actually sleep kind of reasonably well, and I don't get very stressed, which is nice. So I go to sleep, probably not even that late. I like 11 or something, and then I get up at like 6 a.m. and then I do it over and over again, But I wake up right away. It's like you bolt out of bed and then you're just immediately answering messages and stuff. That's the
Where are you located? What's your team like?
Texas. I'm in Texas, and some of the team is there too. But our team is, largely U.S. based. I'd say a lot of Midwest, South. We've got some Brazilian friends too, a few Europeans, but that's mainly it. Yeah.
Right on. Right. So how big is your team? Like, I assume you outsource some stuff to third parties, but like the whole team working on the game, how many people are active?
Yeah, about 30. About 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's also a project that has been building the entire bear market, by the way. Like, I think we saw the tweet the other day that was basically like, like a product is really good if they really survived the last 2 years. Like it's not a foolproof plan, but if you see a project that survived that and got through to the other side, it's definitely a good sign.
Yeah. You said the word other side there. Is part of the strategy to front run other side?
Oh, Gift just on one today, man.
So the funny thing is we started building before Other Side was announced. So we've really never viewed it as like a reference point for us. It's never been we've been doing this since before that was an idea. And then, but I would say our goal is always to move as fast as possible and deliver the best product possible. And I think we are going to be before them will be, before I think most other kind of major games release. So that is a plus. I'll definitely take it.
Biggie Poppins, get in here.
Well, I didn't see birds. I'm assuming there are moonbirds there yet.
There's a base avatar for moonbirds. Yeah.
Okay, base avatar. Okay, I'll take it. Now with AI, one of the things that I've been seeing a lot is like people that are able to create their own fully rigged, 3D models. I know they're not Web3 enabled just yet, although suppose you could mint them onto the blockchain. But would it be possible to bring in your own custom avatars into this space as well?
Definitely. So got a couple options there. If you're a creator who's making their own collection, you can obviously talk to us and we'll get it in. But you can also just put the avatar pointed to in the metadata of the NFT. If you follow a simple standard we have, then we'll automatically ingest it and it will just be usable in game. The other thing you can do is we have a create function on the web app where you can upload any game ready asset, use it in game, and if you want to, mint it as an NFT and sell it to people or give it away for free. So you basically, it'll never have been easier. On Wednesday, it becomes dramatically easier to turn a game ready asset into an NFT if you want. That's part of what we're shipping. Yeah.
Nice.
What's the? I think most people are interested in the airdrop.
They're breaking.
Yeah, if
up.
your audio's busted.
I heard the word
There you
airdrop though.
Just speak into the mic a little bit.
Check.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, I think most people are going to be curious about the airdrop and the tokenomics. So whatever alpha, detailed explanations you can provide on that front, I'm sure.
Yeah, that is the draw. And early next week, you're going to get like a kind of very comprehensive bit of content on that from us. So for now, what I can say is it's widely open to everyone to participate. The extent to which you can participate is going to be gated by the NFTs you own. Like how much are you a real degen who's been collecting NFTs, trading, doing stuff? How much have you been loyal to Nifty Island itself if you're an early supporter of ours? So, but it will broadly be open to everyone and you'll be able to farm the airdrop by playing and sharing. So playing the game, farming our in-game currency called Blooms, upgrading your island, winning daily challenges, competing. That's one side of it. The other side of it is evangelizing. So sharing a link to your island and driving quality engagement to it is the other way to compete in the airdrop. And and then the token itself, it's going to be all about both create kind of deep game utility, have a bigger island, be able to host more players concurrently, have an island that's more discoverable, etc. A lot of the benefits that go to like big developers on Roblox, that's kind of what the token will provide for an individual. And then it's also going to be economic. We want the game to be a place where you can win and earn ETH, and your ability to do that will be intensified by the amount of island token you hold. So island token is going to be cool.
So are these all instances? It's not like there's not an open world concept. These are instances, correct?
Right now they're instances. Yeah, they're instances that we can shard. So we can have like, if say your island's like really popular, it hits a max player count, we can just create many shards of it. Eventually we'll do some fun stuff around maybe letting islands exist kind of in a single instance, but right now they're instance game lobbies created by users. Yeah.
All right, and last quick question here, as far as a blockchain that you guys are utilizing.
We are fundamentally chain agnostic. So for us, our core assets are on ETH because that's where liquidity is, and that's the most kind of enduring smart contract chain right now. But we just announced that we support base chain now. We support Polygon, and then I wouldn't be surprised if you saw like Solana and Ordinals from us in the not so distant future.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice Ordinals
very cool.
too. Love it.
I want to do Ordinals too. It's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yes, it is.
It's like that's a nice little challenge you put there for yourself.
Yeah, no, it's gonna suck. Yeah. No.
Let me ask a dumb question. I know this is dumb. So even though those islands are all like kind of their own instance, is that the right way to say it? Are they persistent though? Like the work you do on your island, I mean, you can just visit it whenever and continue where you left off?
100%. And someone can visit your island while you're not even there. So
cool.
So you could decide to play on a friend's island. You can also assign friends as a collaborator on your island. So sort of like having a Discord mod, you can have someone who kind of like, keeps things kosher while you're gone if you want. Cool. And then you can also have multiple islands. So by progressing through the game and earning our in-game currency, Blooms, which is off-chain and non-financial, you can spend it and get additional islands. So that's kind of fun.
Kind of like, I don't know, some like loosely like Animal Crossing vibes or something, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
It's like something there.
definitely. I'd say it's like Animal Crossing, Halo Forge, Social Network have a baby.
Oh, yeah.
That's
pretty damn cool. Okay.
That's the dream.
So the metaverse back? We calling metaverse plays back?
So,
Shit, man.
yeah, what I'd say is I don't want to encourage people too much. I'd say games that aren't fun are not back. Scarce land sales are not back.
Oh, yeah.
But I think open game worlds that cater to deep communities around NFTs and have cool prizes and actually fun gameplay, they're back. They're back in a big way.
So one of the biggest challenges with launching games today, and that's really for any NFT project in general, is that they're basically live services, right? And so once this goes live, it's not like, hey, we're done with this crazy fucking 2-year marathon. We all get to take a break. It's like, no, now you have to almost speed up in a way and just keep fucking going. So my question is like, how are you looking at this post launch? And I know it's tough to say like what happens a year or two from now, but I imagine that with launching a game like this, you understand that this isn't just something that you get to just be like, okay, there it is, we shipped it.
Right.
So are you planning to stay on and run this for the next 3 to 5 years? Or you just think, hey, we want this to be like a 1-year awesome experiment. Maybe then it shuts down or we sell it, or like what's your vision and your exit from something like this?
Yeah, so this is all from my perspective. I know some people will be skeptical or maybe don't agree, and that's fine. But I'll say this is what kind of motivates me. We think that NFTs are the future of a category I would call digital retail that will be absolutely massive and will exist well into the future. And we believe that gaming is going to play a special role in that. And we want to build the definitive platform where people play with their NFTs and acquire all kinds of new ones that people haven't thought of yet, ones that have game logic attached to them, 3D assets, etc. So I really view it as like this is there's no end date for us in terms of working on this. We think it's a pretty unbounded opportunity, and we want to work on it pretty much forever. And so we're just going to keep grinding at it. And and increasingly what you'll see from a live ops perspective is that we want the game to be built by users increasingly. So we have our quest system, which you'll see at launch, where users can post their own rewards and challenges for each other. That will open up to users to do a little after launch. But that is a form of live ops done by users. What you'll also see in the future from us very likely are other groups building games on top of Nifty Island that have their own fun incentives around them. We view this as like a base platform that other people can build on. That's the goal. First, we have to prove it out ourselves with what we've built, but we'll get there. Yeah.
Charles, we have a pretty vibrant community here that has obviously been around the NFT space, is super active right now. That's probably the best part about hosting these shows. And one of the community members here, Cam Taylor, is a part of the Chiptos collection here, and I guess he's been talking about trying to get Chiptos into Nifty Island. Can we make that happen?
Well, those assets,
can we make that happen?
Those assets are fucking fire. So Q, actually, while we have Charles here, let's do Cam a big solid, and if we can go to the Chiptos X and just pull up a couple of the fucking assets real quick.
Let's do it.
Dude, so Cam Taylor, just so you know, I'm going to plug him here because he's an awesome community member. He's been building in this space for a long time. He was working at Electronic Arts as one of their 3D artists for a long time, and went full. They went full Web3 with my boy Gaper and Ahmed. They've been developing these for a couple years. This shit is next level. So yeah, if you're not aware of the work that they've been doing creating these assets and their awesome community, you should definitely be aware of them.
We're talking to them
for sure.
We're talking to them.
Oh,
I need to find the DM, but there's a DM.
Let's go.
There's a DM. So I think it has a high probability of happening. I think
now,
we got a good shot at it.
I have a question. Obviously, the token airdrop is a draw, right? An incentive that cannot go on forever. And I understand that also the primary motivation or the majority of the people that will immediately bum rush this new ecosystem are going to be gamers. But do you also foresee other uses for this metaverse? In other words, more like congregation, right? Like, or whether it's like concerts and stuff like that. Are you looking to attract people like that, or enable them or assist them in doing that?
I think it's something that is valuable to some degree, and we do want to do it. But I think a big mistake many projects have made is putting those kind of more like I don't know,
right?
experimental use cases ahead of being a fun game. Because I think what you have is someone's like, come to this game world that isn't any fun at all, and go to a concert where there's no chance that you meet a girl or anything. You know what I mean? Like that's the proposition, right? It's like, okay, I don't know if I want to do that. But I think the core thing has to be the game has to be really fun. The prizes have to be wild and crazy. And the community it has to be really community driven. It's got to be all the best communities there flexing what they own and what they've made. And then things like concerts and these sort of more social use cases will happen, but they happen around a core experience. It's like you don't start with the Travis Scott concert in Fortnite. You start with Battle Royale. So we're trying to, that's how I view it. I think it's a cool thing and it will happen, but you have to prove out the initial use case. It has to be fun.
Charles, I appreciate you joining in today. For those folks that are just hopping into the episode, this is our first Friday NFT Live in quite some time. We host the show every single freaking day now during the week at 1 p.m. Eastern. We get after it with a lot of these co-hosts. Charles randomly was in the show. We tagged Nifty Island. You guys retweeted it, which is an awesome, obvious indicator, by the way. Like if teams are supporting content creators, that is definitely some alpha there. But then you hopped into the show. Couldn't give you more flowers for that, man. If you guys have any questions for Charles in the Nifty Island, please drop them here in chat. And then the other thing, I want to be a little bit more laid back because we said we were. Here, man. Are you looking at any other metas right now, or are you focused? Obviously, you're super focused on the product and launching. Are you looking at all on some of the things that are happening?
Yeah.
No, like what am I trading,
Charles?
Yeah, what am I trading?
What's in your bag?
Yes.
What are you collecting, bro?
Biggie Papas thinks so highly of me.
I
want to know too.
I have a few things that I've been trading. I mean, I'm definitely looking at I think with Solana, like if it picks up even more, there's going to be a big repricing event where anything that's like core infra on Solana should like start to close the multiple that it has, or the discount it has against its equivalent on ETH. So I am buying a few things there that like look to me really cheap. So that's kind of fun.
Name them.
Shadow.
Okay, I guess I could say one. I don't know that it will work out. It's not financial advice. I'll just say MPLX is one I've been looking at. Seems cool.
No
Have you looked
idea.
at that? So it's the protocol that all the Solana NFTs are on, basically. So it's kind of like it works different than ETH. There's like a core protocol everyone mints on. And my view is like it's kind of an interesting way of having like broad exposure to Solana NFTs potentially. I think that's kind of a cool one. I really like the team at Get Reach. They have a really low cap coin.
Yes, bro. Are you an OG?
I think I don't know how OG is it. I mean, I guess like this summer.
There's a specific role. That they have.
See.
Yeah. So I'm an OG. This is one of the ones that I have higher conviction on. That I think most of the people up here, even though we were early on it, we've had Lana Moore on both of our shows. Biggie tapped us in with them early. Most of them, I don't think most people here are taking it that seriously, but I'm actually really, really bullish, and it's one of my higher conviction plays because of how they've created an actual product that has shown some product market fit. Like I think Portal proved that there's some product market fit just within crypto Twitter and CryptoX and everybody wanting to play the different airdrop farm games. So they proved that out before they even launched their token. And so I'm just very, very bullish on anything that utilizes X integrations and like the sort of viral nature. Everybody wants that, but also the fact that it incentivizes people to have quality engagement supporting other people's content. It's not just like Portal, where it's just like, hey, rep our shit. Repost us. It's like, hey, go actually provide quality engagement on other people and provide some discoverability or some value to the whole NFT space. So I'm pretty bullish.
Great team. They're really good guys. I think they're really product minded. I think they're getting a lot of traction. I know they have a lot of cool stuff they're going to roll out. So I just think I'm with you, man. I think the SocialFi stuff, like, will have more legs. I generally am just excited about crypto consumer because I think there'll be some really wild stuff that pops up and does well that people won't see coming. And, so I think I'm with you. I'm with you on it.
I love it, man. Builder and degen all at the same time. See,
You
it
have to
can
be
be done, folks. It
Yeah.
can be done.
Gotta have some cred. Yeah.
I have to buy. But I have to I can't be trading every day. I have to pick something and be like, this makes sense. I'll forget about it for a while and then come back. I can't
That's
be.
probably better.
Let
to
it
be honest.
marinate.
Yeah.
Exactly. Become a community member. Yeah, no, I'm kidding, but yeah, sweet.
All right, Charles, this has been an awesome conversation, man. We are going to hop in on 1/17. So Jan 17, that is next week, Wednesday. That is the release there where everybody can hop in and use their different IP and NFT collections to play the game, man, and earn some island and all that stuff. So awesome.
Yeah, and I'm sure your week is going to be jam packed. But if you have a chance one morning to hop on our spaces on GM Web 3, definitely slide through and talk to us for a bit.
That sounds great. I'm always down. Yeah, appreciate you having me. And this Wednesday, recommend hopping in. I think it'll be everywhere. So you will see it and it'll be fun. I'd recommend playing.
Surely, man.
We'll be there.
Leg, dude. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Thanks
Take
for
care, guys.
stopping
Good
by.
to meet you. Good to meet you.
Likewise.
Better, man.
Love it.
Awesome, man.
Fucking so cool.
Yeah, he's taking his life into his hand, just hopping up here like that. So you know
Sure.
what,
Man.
Yeah, props, mad
G
props.
move for sure.
That's the sign. That is the sign of a great builder, and you can tell a great team. And that has me more bullish than the trailer. I shit you not.
Because he believes, because you can tell he believes. Like anybody who's gonna put themselves out there like that and just show up and hold their own and talk shit like that, they believe in what they're doing. They're not a front, So
Yep. That's
lovely.
completely it. Any question, dude, comes in just ready for it all. They believe in their product. That's incredible.
Yeah, and they also, by the way, he brought up Get Reach, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's because they've been using it as a big part of their social strategy. That's how I first learned about Nifty Island, and I think how they got a lot of the traction that they've had is they've been fucking blowing up the Get Reach platform and incentivizing people to be posting and using that. And I think that actually a lot of their social strategy has been using it. Again, that shows product market fit to me for what Reach is doing. And he sees it. So a smart dude like that who's building products that has seen the value that it's provided to him. Again, that
All right. I see your bags.
Oh God, I just caught on. No,
I'm just
Look,
giving him a hard time.
full disclosure. I've been saying from the beginning that I got into
Full
it.
disclosure.
Full disclosure. I'm
Tell
a
you what.
believer. I have a bag of Reach. It's not a big bag.
No, I'm not.
I tried doing a campaign this morning, and it had a 0.015 ETH, reward bounty. I can't find it. I don't think anything actually went live. I've got to figure this out.
All right. Speaking of pump,
I'll talk to you about it offline if you want.
Yeah.
speaking
hell
of
yeah,
pumping
please.
bags here, I'm going to transition us into some of this all-chain talk. I told everybody, I promised you that I'd stop the episode at 1 hour, but then we had Nifty Island
It's
hop in.
Friday.
It's-
Friday.
Let's go
We should've
3
bet on
hours. Bro,
Yeah,
fuck
let's
this
just-
1 hour shit.
Dude,
It's Friday.
Should we do
on the
rate my
couch.
bags?
I'm gonna go make a snack in a minute. Let's go
leave
3
it
hours,
live.
bro. Let's go 4
Dude.
hours. 4 hour
Old school
Fridays.
Twitch.
Yo,
24-hour stream.
4 hour Fridays.
All right,
24 hour Fridays.
So here's where I'm going to transition us real quick. The SEI ecosystem obviously has been brought up multiple times. We are going to continue to shove it down your throat here. But Aaron as well, Aaron Sage, who I believe is a research analyst. I think
Wow,
he
and
works.
crossed out the Ethereum signal, man. He's saying something.
Yeah, there you go. So he's putting out a flag here for SEI, saying SEI V2, which is the upcoming update to that ecosystem, will change Web3. This is pretty strong words here.
I haven't
SEI
heard
will
that
become the fastest. Yeah, right. SEI will become the fastest
Okay.
chain.
We-
SEI will allow
bags?
devs
Whose
to
bags are we
deploy-
pumping here?
I said
Whose
it.
bags are we pumping?
I have said it from the beginning that I am a holder. SEI will allow devs to deploy audited smart contracts from EVM networks. SEI will allow transactions to run in parallel without devs needing to define dependencies. Basically, every major contract that exists on ETH can easily be redeployed on SEI with no code changes required. Very bullish narrative, in my opinion. A couple micro things that are happening on the chain. We do see the top 5 NFT collections here. Dobbs have been probably the most talked about. Saiyans continue to be the one that will probably outlast the rest. I wouldn't say the rest of them, but the rest of that mid-tier NFT. They're kind of right on that border. WeBump, I cannot stress you enough that you should probably get a WeBump, not financial advice. Colony NFTs will do well as well, but you can see there's the volume. When it comes to volume, and Huda's been on Crypto Slam and obviously is doing a bunch of work over there, this isn't that much on the volume scale when it comes to other chains. So that's something you should mention. Dude, guys, anything up to this point? I got a couple more things on Say, and then we can move on. But what's up?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what y'all were talking about with him crossing out the ETH thing. Choin is pointing out that's an inspect extension thing. Like that's on everybody's NFTs. That's not like he didn't.
It's not a statement. He's not.
Yeah, it's not a statement. There's something going on with the inspects.io or.
Thanks for the clarification,
whatever.
Choina.
Yeah.
I was about to reach out.
What's with everybody shitting on ETH? I don't understand these people. Like even Beanie realized that he was being fucking dumb.
Yeah,
so.
NFT price floors are absolutely in the dumps, and I think that has a lot to do with why most of NFT Twitter is taking shit on NFTs.
But yo, that's mostly those NFT projects in general. Like Ethereum's not bad or going like I don't get it.
It's just where their narrative is shifting, right? Like a lot of what happens on ETH is NFTs, and if NFT price floors are down, people are going to be taking a shit. So yeah, there you go. Show it off. There it is. All right, a couple other micro things, and then we can move on to what my co-hosts want to cover. NFT Llama here. I think he's onto something a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit of hopium here. But he's saying this is what's going to happen. Big marketplaces like Magic Eden or Blur will start having Say NFTs. Solana and ETH degens will ape into Say NFTs. He's talking about the token there, and then Say Summer will be next up. I've been seeing a couple mentions of Magic Eden introducing Say NFTs. It seems like hopium, but that would be a big boom for the ecosystem, of course. And then the last thing I will touch on here, Say Dragons is a mint that's upcoming, seems to be doing well. Again, WeBump is getting you access to almost all of these projects, and it's probably going to pay for itself here in the next week. I don't know how long that meta lasts, but yeah, Say Dragons is actually doing a mint that's not a free mint.
They're $1,000 for a WeBump.
Yeah, but again, this is the mental model that I was working through. GIF is I think before Solana blew up. Mad Lads was sitting there, probably the most expensive in that ecosystem, and it's still the one that got the bid. That's what you have to where others were like shittier, but probably did a 2x. Mad Lads did like some 8, 9x from where it was on the floor. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but there's a lot of things behind Mad Lads that I don't know that WeBump has. Like you're drawing parallels here that I don't know exactly add up.
Well, they're creating infrastructure for a launch of NFTs, so they're doing things.
I guess they do have the platform. Okay, I get where you're going with it. By the way, Marty McFly is saying WeBump sounds like a cocaine-based project. I agree. Also, how about those bankless grifters? I mean, there's a whole story there that we could get into. Christian saying, "I will riot if you end the stream sub 2 hours," and I'm with you, Christian. I'm going for 4. I'm lobbying for 4 up here. All right. Cuban.
Do you guys remember?
Q's been taking bumps for sure. Yes.
Do you guys remember? Just last week we were on Pallet and we were looking at collections. Yes. There was like 9 of them total.
Maybe 6.
Right. There was like almost nothing. So like almost 4 times, maybe 5 times the number of projects already. Is Legendary League on your radar at all? On Say?
No, I have not heard of that. So it's a rush of new NFT PFP collections. I have not heard of Legendary League. Show me on it.
I know nothing about it other than I'm in there. It's the only Say project I'm in before mint, so that's why you were going to be my barometer for it.
Interesting. No, I need to look into that, man. So yeah, I'll take a look after the episode here. That's it for Say for me. Again, I think we're in this kind of lull period. We don't see a lot of X's when it comes to some of these new projects that are hopping. Dobbs did run, right? Like Dobbs were a 44 ETH. I believe they're around 44 ETH, 44 Say. They are at 230, right? Nice. So you see some, obviously, again, WeBump and Colony holders are getting whitelist access to these for sometimes free. So I showed you guys that yesterday. Saiyans hasn't moved. Like I thought Saiyans would be the PFP of this chain because they have that time to the name. Yeah.
Just very obvious, right? But maybe it's a chance to buy like before they appreciate. these things happen sometimes. I think, bumps and what's the other one? Dobbs. Like, I guess like you could say, or at least Dobbs has like a more, I don't know, polished look to them. I really like them, to be honest. They're pretty dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you, Q, that in the long term, Saiyans has, I don't know, there's just something to it, right? With the chain, makes too much sense. But again, I'm not versed in Say yet. I have yet to sweep to bridge over Q.
Well, let's talk about a
up
chain that you were shilling here, Biggie Poppins, yesterday, which is Berachain, right? That's in the Cosmos ecosystem. Give us some updates there, man.
Dude, so shout out DP, who's in the comment section right now, because he brought it up. And I put it in my to-do list, and as it is in this space, it pops up again, and I'm like, okay, I need to just put this schedule this time to it. And I started looking into it, and it's really interesting. It is very, very cool. That's one of these things that I'm starting to, I don't know, like pick up on with these new projects that are launching, these new protocols that are coming up, is that they have very novel mechanics and consensus protocols. Berachain, I'm bullish on it. I like it. I already went through that. I think they have a couple of tasks that you can do through Glax that will take you like no more than 20 minutes, and you can qualify for an airdrop from there. And I think they're going to have some more stuff that you'll be able to do down the line. Do not buy their NFTs. They're super fucking expensive. I imagine they're gonna get an airdrop, but
Aren't they like 100 ETH or something?
dude, yeah, and the cheapest one is like 3 ETH or something. But I do strongly suggest that, and I know like some of us aren't like that techie into it, but look at their consensus mechanism. They have this cool thing called proof of liquidity, and a really thoughtful and interesting use of soul-bound tokens to represent that liquidity that you're providing, which, if you think about it, it's brilliant, right? Because you can't really steal it from, unless you actually like give somebody your seed phrase. You really can't falsify it. It's pretty secure. I like it. It's one that I'm tracking closely along with Scroll.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, what is the difference between proof of liquidity and proof of stake?
So basically, because you're providing liquidity in a different chain, you're given a soul-bound token that represents that liquidity you're providing. You aren't actually locking up that liquidity in the new protocol, which is different, I guess, than actually like putting it in like a pool or in like a smart, or locking it up in a smart contract. I'll admit it can. I don't know if you can read through the website. I think it'll make a lot more sense to you. But again, these things sound very sexy, right? When you read through them, and the people that develop are obviously on a different level, so it can be very convincing sometimes. I just, from my experience reading a lot of these different protocols and papers, this one looks really good.
I want to have a quick, I don't want to dive down too much of a rabbit hole here, guys, but I want to have a quick discussion on what this new kind of environment is going to look like in 2024, because we've been doing a good job covering these new chains, right? Like we're hitting on, say, you were hitting even on testnet with Monad, and now Berachain. You were bringing up Scroll. We're on base.
Yeah.
How do we survive in this new, and how do people survive in this new environment? That basically you're going to be having 18 different wallets on 18 different chains. And to add on to that, if we don't get a ton of new users into this ecosystem, we're like fragmenting our already small ecosystem. So it's like a double combo I want to have here.
Well, this is part of why I'm bullish on Ethereum at the end of the day, because most things want to bridge back to Ethereum somehow, right? Like everything wants to be EVM or backed up there. And I do feel like at the end of the day, Ethereum is going to be an easier home base for most people to be connecting through. So like I don't know the ins and outs of interoperability well enough to be able to explain all that. I just know that Ethereum virtual machine seems to be the most popular thing for a lot of people to be interoperating with. And this is again why it's like I think all these like, oh, ETH NFTs are down right now because everybody's chasing the bags elsewhere, so ETH is dead. Like all those takes are so fucking dumb to me. But yes, I think it's a big problem, and I'm looking for solutions to that myself. I'm tired of having to pay to register a million different domains as well. Like I don't want to have gifted.sol.eth.say.tez. fucking mocha. Whatever. Like I want to have one. And I know that like you can argue
that you don't need those.
Well, you can argue against it from a decentralization perspective. You can be like, well, that's the whole point of decentralization. It's like, yeah, but also I want things that actually work and make sense, that don't actually just cost me a bunch of time and energy and money, and make my life miserable because I'm trying to keep up with a zillion fucking things, right? Like that's not the idea either. So anyway,
I agree with you, GIF, especially if this is being treated as an ongoing thing that you have to pay for, right? I will say that Solana .sol domains are the only ones that I know of where once you buy them, it's a one-off. You do not ever have to pay again, which is very convenient. In Bonfida, the ones that develop the .sol domains are doing a fantastic jobs. They just had an announcement, I think today, of like just more functionality that you can use with your .sol domains. I think when it comes to domains on Web3, they are absolutely killing it, along with obviously ENS. I think it's an inexpensive way to get exposure to a new protocol. If you're farming an airdrop, say like Scroll, it costs me $10 to buy a .scroll domain, and if that entitles me to an extra multiple of
what was the ENS airdrop? Speaking of that, Biggie, like, I'm sure you were in ENS.
I was, yeah.
It was like 20K.
Yeah, ENS was legit. Yeah, I think even I ended up with like 15K or something out of ENS.
What are we complaining about your gift?
Yeah.
That pays for your domain names for the rest
They're
of
not
your
you
kids.
You think they're all gonna be like that?
No, I'm saying that 115K payout because you access these ENS names.
You can buy 10 in other protocols and maybe get exposure to that ecosystem. I agree with you, GIF, in the sense that like the way.
But as the other example of that, right, is that I bought fucking 30 to 40 .tez domains. I don't think anything is ever going to come from that. You know, it's like that's not the majority of the time. I don't think you get an ENS airdrop for registering these things. Like that's an outlier to me.
Yeah, that's fair. That happens. The second, third, fourth airdrops aren't usually as big as the first. So I feel that.
True. I don't know. The way I'm approaching this cycle is that everything's vying for your attention, and I think it's worthy of tinkering and exploring these different fringes, because that is how we have the Solana phenomenon occurring right now and the stacks phenomenon, right? Like these were things that last cycle were frowned upon or looked upon as, stupid little experiments, and now they're serious contenders, right? That are going to take some market share and maybe be employed in different aspects here in Web3. So I do think like staying siloed in Ethereum, Bitcoin is, I don't want to say a mistake, but that it should definitely be your priority. Like that's mine. And I know that the majority of people that have been here in the space, that is it, right? Like their core holdings, what they want to continue to drive value back, whatever they flip in other chains and everything, is to Ethereum and Bitcoin. Having said that, I know there's a lot of Solana people that are very happy, and Stacks people and Near people. And I think as this technology evolves, it's just, again, in my opinion, it's like you want to be a polyglot in this new environment, right? To be able to understand different consensus mechanisms. And again, I'm not a fucking dev. I don't understand. Like when I first started reading these things, proof of work, proof of stake, I had to reread them 3 or 4 times to understand what the hell was going on. And still to this day, if you put me in front of a dev and we start talking, it's going to be very clear that I'm not a dev. But you don't need to be a dev to understand, right? Like I think like once you start understanding the lingo of what, the Byzantine general's problem and why Satoshi's proof of work consensus model fucking is revolutionary, and then you go into proof of stake, and then you go into DAGs and different consensus mechanisms. You start to understand the different trade-offs that these protocols are doing and for what purposes, right? And I just think it's very valuable to understand this just a little bit, because that's how you eventually catch an edge and say, well, this protocol is like I was saying with Scroll and Berachain, where I'm like, okay, I've seen a lot of them that claim to be parallelization, Solana killers, Ethereum killers, what have you, but none of them have this, right? And the only way you're able to identify that is by reading a whole bunch of these different ones, right?
It's also not always about the tech, right? Like it's not always about being the fastest. It's about network effects. It's about people catching the right time. It's
like,
yeah.
Buy an NFT, join the Discord, check it out, have a conversation. Like you do have to like get out of the walled gardens that are Ethereum and Bitcoin.
Having said that, Say is the fastest. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Berachain, I dropped that link there in chat. We were talking about that on testnet in the Cosmos ecosystem. Seems to be getting a lot of attention. Guys, I had a couple more takes. I mean, we were touching on Bitcoin ordinals, but what's up?
Well, I just want to say I'm going to be looking for more specialization, because there is too many chains. There's going to be a million of them, but the ones that find one truly powerful dApp, a really powerful use case or application that they can specialize around that actually has a product market fit, like that's what I'm gonna be looking for, because I don't think most of these chains just trying to do everything and not having a clear vision of like who they are and all trying to compete for the same things. Most of them I don't think are gonna do well. Somebody pointed out like, hey, it would be fucking brilliant for one chain to specialize in the sort of like proof of content, like the source, like misinformation, disinformation. There's a massive global fucking problem right there that blockchain can solve. Why wouldn't one of these L2s just specialize on being the solution platform for content, like proof of content, proof of source, combating misinformation, disinformation? I would be bullish on that, for instance. But yeah, I feel like too many of these chains come out here without a clear enough brand or identity.
I really want to give a quick shout out here to the chat that has been super active. Crypto Elf saying Destiny Punks on Injective airdrop is incoming. DP talking about Berachain saying they gained over 100,000 unique addresses in a few hours. RPC nodes have been flooded due to volume.
It's impressive.
Here's 100,000. Okay, I could see it, but you can't tell me that some of that isn't doubled up or some type of bot behavior, or like I really hope that they fix that, and I don't see it an edge of where they are fixing that. I don't think these blockchains really care. I think it actually makes sense for them to not care. They want to have as much activity on the protocols as possible, and it kind of sucks because what's happening is they're siphoning whatever airdrop you're trying to get, Biggie, by being an active user. You have one guy
is wash trading.
Yeah.
Same thing as wash trade.
Wash activity. Yeah. Yeah.
For context, and because we've been talking about this internally at Crypto Slam, like we've been trying to think of like how many actual buyers are there, you know, like how many unique people are there. I'm peeking real quick. I want to dive into Ethereum, but dude, like it's so small and it puts into perspective like what's really going on out there. And it's mostly, you know, like bullshit's a little harsh, but it's a lot of bullshit out there. Weekly numbers here. Let's see. I think I'm on the monthly here. Do you have it pulled? You have it pulled up. Yeah, if you click on Ethereum and then hit weekly, actually daily's even fine, either way. But on either view, you can see the unique buyers column, and that tells you how many, and like it's pretty darn accurate. That's how many people. So when you have like hundreds of thousands signing up on a blockchain, like, I mean, part of that's real, but also grain of salt.
100%. And I think like right now it's just a test net, by the way, you know, it's not mainnet. So some of these protocols do want to incentivize you by promising you some type of airdrop if you use their testnet to try and patch up bugs, right? And to give feedback, like very much like what Charlie's trying to do with Nifty Island, right? Like, I mean, that is the sole purpose of airdrops, right? But in the end, like it's not what's going to keep you there. You know, you have to have, like you said, a well-oiled, functioning product, and most importantly, again, as usual, community.
So So Q's got it right there. Like we just dialed into like the actual daily view, like daily unique buyers on Ethereum. It's like 10, 11,000 a day right now. Or actually this is the end of,
Which is
end
more-
of December.
This is more than we saw near the bottom, right? I
goodness,
think it was
yeah.
like 6, 7K, maybe
Yeah.
8 during the bottom. So we did
Yep.
we have seen a couple thou, but that's, I mean, that is hilariously small compared
It's
to
just-
active users on anything in Web 2.
It's just again for perspective. If we're seeing like hundreds of thousands on other chains, Ethereum, we arguably the biggest chain for NFT trading. And maybe I'm wrong there, but if there's only 10,000 unique buyers there, how many of those 100,000 whatever are again dupe accounts, bots, whatever.
Yeah, this is a great point. And honestly, I am complaining a little bit. I know Biggie Pop is saying that we complain a little bit too much. Like if I get a freaking 1K airdrop and Joe Schmo over here who has 10 wallets gets 10K, I mean, I'm not gonna fucking complain, right? But like
you're
it's
not
just
like writing threads about it, so you're
yeah, I
entitled
will write my
and
own.
it's fine.
I'm gonna write a strongly worded letter to Bear,
Yeah.
wherever he may be, Mr. Co-founder of Berachain. All right, EigenLayer is one that we brought up multiple times, having an airdrop. I don't know much about it. Finch has been on my ass about making sure that I do this liquid staking over here. Liquid restaking. I don't know if you can dive into a little bit of what that even kind of means there, Biggie. But basically, it is another protocol that is potentially doing an airdrop here for staking, or they're going to doing restaking, like you just mentioned, that you should potentially find as an opportunity. This is obviously not financial advice. I believe they're opening staking back up on January 29th. That's what it says on this post, dates to remember. But before that process, I think you can start locking ETH now. So again, I'm in deep water here. Biggie, you got anything to say
Don't
to
ask
me here?
me to explain that protocol.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not.
But yeah, it's definitely one of the. I think Blast and EigenLayer are the premier lock up your ETH and you'll be happy down the line that you did. So I'm more partial to EigenLayer because I think it's more aligned with Ethereum and the narrative. Again, we've talked about Blast for a while, and to be honest though, Q, I haven't really partaking very much in these lock up your ETH, and we'll get to you in a couple of months because I want to remain liquid. I still think it's very early in the year and there's many great opportunities coming down the line. And I would hate to be one of those guys that is like, it's all locked up. My hands are tied. I can't do shit. But if there's a certain amount that you're fine with locking up and you don't think you're going to need it, this is a fantastic way to generate some extra percentage on your ETH, that is relatively safe. Yeah, I've heard of Swell as well. I recently partook, with a small amount, just again, tinkering with Mantle, which I think you'll be seeing a lot of down the line, like not too long from now. It's less crowded at EigenLayer and Blast, but equally impressive with the backers and their war chest. So,
I really haven't seen a big airdrop since the Jito announcement that they were going to drop to everybody that used the protocol. I haven't seen this like large airdrop that got everybody in a frenzy, and really everyone's trying. You might have one.
No, Jupiter's coming very, very soon on Solana, and that's going to blow people's dick off.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone's kind of chasing right now, though. We're chasing it on save, base, everything.
Jito? I mean, I don't know. Like that's where I'm trying to find like a middle ground, right? Like because I do think some people might be disillusioned if they're expecting the same numbers as Jito. Jito was very few participants, so they took the lion's share of that airdrop. I think it's the one that sparked this airdrop fanaticism right now that's going on in this space. But to expect, again, like we were talking about the ENS results, right? To expect the same amounts going forward is going to be disingenuous, to believe that. I'm bullish on Jupiter drop. I think, I don't know. It's just I was going to say it's maybe comparable to Uniswap, but Uniswap airdrop was also pretty damn nice. So I don't know. Maybe somewhere in between.
Yeah, the Uniswap on Airdrop was super nice. Definitely, I think they kind of innovated on the retroactive airdrop where they didn't tell people, but they just dropped it to them. Maybe maybe that's right. Maybe it's not. DP is saying the way I see it right now, I use all of the other chains and dApps as my hustle, and ETH and BTC as my bank. So a lot of well said in the chat for that, DP.
Yeah.
Cats Fanatic saying I cashed out 10K from an ENS drop. Loved ENS. It was a lifesaver at the time. That's part of the wins with Web3. It's you see stories like that. You see stories like that. So guys, I don't have that much more stuff. I know there was a ton happening in Ordinals. I'm an idiot sandwich for not continuing to be on that chain. These base dinos are going to be a great example.
The mints in Ordinal, I don't know about you, Huda, but the mints on Ordinals are getting absurd. Like
in what way? The prices?
Yeah, they're fucking obscene.
Yeah.
I mean,
dude,
case in point, Shadow has recently like $10,000 mint, bro. I mean, dude, I get it. Forgotten Runes Wizard Club and all that shit. You got some pedigree behind you, but
Lord, right,
man.
The same way that stuff on ETH usually is going for more or more valuable than stuff on the other chains. It's the exact same thing. It's just Bitcoin, a whole other extreme. And that is why I waste no time getting into Bitcoin, because there are so many giga whales on Bitcoin. That reason alone, and the fact that like 0.01 Bitcoin equals like help me math. Is that $400 or 4,000?
0.01 is
400. The fact that the number 0.01 equals $400, right? That's why I actually am putting time in Bitcoin, because it's such a small number when you start playing like the crypto numbers game, and people stop thinking about the US dollar value and they're spending it, dude. So as ridiculous as those prices are, you're hurting yourself by not getting in and like getting into that ecosystem.
Okay, so how easy is it to get into some of these drops now that the hype is there, now that everyone's trying to do it? Is it harder now to get into these?
I think
there's more junk.
And I would argue also, Huda, that there were plenty of, I mean, we saw it, right? It minted out all at 0.2, the top of the line, all of them. And I bet you there was a ton of people that didn't get their transactions in the mempool in time. Yep. Like the people that are way more savvy than most of us here were the ones that were able to get through. I totally get you, Huda, but I also try to draw comparables sometimes with other things, right? Like, I remember when Windsor Yawanawa was minting, right? $2,500 mint was like that. A lot of people faded it for that very reason. Yeah. $2,500 for a mint from Rafiq Anadol, a proven real world fucking artist with an actual roadmap and things that were going to happen in the deliverables that you could expect and the print and the blah, 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 blah. Ordinals, in my opinion, I get it. They are able to get away with it right now, in my opinion, because it's euphoria. There's a mania going on. And like you said, the Giga Chads that do own a ton of Bitcoin can do that. I don't know if it's sustainable.
Whale games.
I don't feel good playing it, man, to be honest.
It's not for the junk ones, and there is so much junk, but a lot of the really pricey ones, there is a reason why they're so pricey. And so that Shadow Hat one is a perfect example. The only reason that sold out at 0.2 Bitcoin is because if you max bid at 0.2 Bitcoin, you get entered in a raffle for a sub 1K ordinal. That's it. So they got 10 sub 1K ordinals that, again, you max bid, you're in a raffle and you get it free. So that's why those sold out so expensive at the top. You're basically rolling the dice on a, like 0.6, 0.7 Bitcoin.
For a 1 in 600 chance.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm just saying it's fair. Like, I get it. Like, I would, there's certain ones that I've faded that I really meant to maybe jump into, right? Like Node Monkeys. I like the Pizza Ninjas too, but I might
0.03 is tricky for that, and I think the world of that team. So I'm like with you on the prices. It is getting very, very tricky.
If there's a, I don't know, we always complain on Ethereum, right? Where when somebody's trying to be too cash grabby or extractive, it's very weird to me, Huda, that all of a sudden we're on Bitcoin and it's justifiable. It's okay, because even then, like when sometimes people call them, it's like, you're buying history here. It's like, the fuck are you talking about? Those stats have existed for fucking decades now. The only reason, like, now you're able to select them and buy them. Is it really historical? I think the context is very important, and like what's on that ordinal is very important. I agree when I look at stuff like Hardo's like golden ratio, right? Like that. Yeah, let's not tell them about it. No, but like that, I understand where it's like, okay, that has potential, you know. But when it comes to these PFP projects, you know, and again, you go to these spaces, you hop on, and like it's all Ethereum people all of a sudden rocking BTC PFPs and now they're here to tell us about BTC culture.
Okay. My final comment though on it is still agreed with the price. You know, the comments on the price. It is going to have a phase of price correction the same way Ethereum just has over the past year. It will happen. It's inevitable. It'll happen. A lot of that'll be worthless. But right now ain't that time. So I still recommend people get in and at least look around.
Gif, last thoughts on this, if you have any.
I'm enjoying the combo.
Okay.
I agree. I think the pricing doesn't make sense long term. Maybe if you get in now, you can find the liquidity to get out of some of these. But dude, whenever you buy in at a super high mint price, the chance of it multiplying from there is way lower than if you get in at a relatively low price and it can, like, you know, grow over time. So it's just like, I'm with Biggie. I'm not playing these whale games right now. It's a big reason why it's been so slow for me to get into it. I don't have a ton of Bitcoin to be like throwing at crazy fucking NFTs right now. That
see if your transaction even gets through.
Yeah, like, dude, I think it's wild. It's totally whale games, and yeah. So respect to those that are playing it. Dude, Cam apparently is playing it really well. I love to see that. I just don't feel like I know enough, or I have enough trusted, knowledgeable Ordinals people around me to feel like I can get into it smart.
And again, I would wager, right, Huda, what you're saying is that, like, out of those 666 people that bought the shadows, somebody like Cam, I'd imagine he understands what he got into, and he's in it for a longer term. He's not in there for a quick flip, although God knows maybe euphoria it's justifiable, right? But how probable is it that a month before the end of Q1 we're gonna have a nasty drawdown? I think you just go look at what all the best traders out there, the Bob Lucas, the Raul Pals, the whatever you have. We're not just gonna keep going up like this, folks. And there's gonna be more opportunity. There's gonna be more enticing, shiny objects to chase. You think that a lot of these node monkeys and shadows and ninjas and what have you are just gonna stay there and not have to fucking flip or maybe even sell at a loss? I don't know. I mean, my personal take is like, I'm waiting for blood. I'm waiting for wailing in the crypto streets. And
we're
then
almost seeing that.
Buy into some of these things.
They're definitely pulling back.
We're almost seeing this, play out on Solana. Solana was fucking red hot for a long time, and we're seeing that now on Solana. That I almost even want to get up here and ask. And there's really not that much competition, so maybe it's a little bit of bag bias. But it's for me. Am I spending more time in the next 3 months on SEI or on Solana? It's a legitimate question at this point.
It's a very good question. Yeah, I don't know what changed in Solana all of a sudden, other than I think you just had a bunch of visitors from ETH that were there to go play while it was hot, and I think it feels like they're done.
Solana has never had any conviction in their NFTs, bro. That's a
good point.
That's
a really good point.
It's never been there. That's why, dude. Why did fucking Frank did Gods the biggest collections left there? We can't forget that happened. Like, I understand that Solana's in a very different state now than it was, and there's a lot of valuable reasons to be there. But dude, their NFT ecosystem has never had any sort of conviction in its own. Like, it's always been degen flippers, and what gets me is the people that every single time a project launches and has a successful launch, they all try and FOMO you into buying their bags and being their exit liquidity, and then they're onto the fucking next thing immediately.
Right.
Dude, the Frog Honest thing is like the ultimate example of this, and it's such a hilarious thing. I think Q, you summed it up so well when you're like naming like at 10 Sol. I love it. At 20 Sol, I'm this is the greatest fucking community of all time. At 100 Sol, it's a fucking grail. And then at 5 Sol, fuck you all. Like, I hate it. I'm never coming back. Like, it's just
Organas are at 0.4 they were selling, or not 4 Sol they were selling for this morning. So I'm watching Crypto Undeads next week. I think that
Yeah, I think that's going to be a great signal to watch to see how that performs.
It definitely is. I have to make one quick comment on Bitcoin, by the way, because just when GIF was speaking about it, he got me thinking of something. Guys, almost every single mint I've done over there has either been free or just like 0.001. I don't know if people know that. I just realized there's this conception or misconception that there are these very pricey mints. I've not bought anything like that. Again, almost all of them free. So
here.
they've cost like $20. And
Make
so
sure,
for that reason,
dude, Huda, tag me in the Telegram whenever you're going in on free or super cheap Ordinals mints, and I will look into those. Maybe I'll get some of those.
There we go.
Bro.
There
Tag
we
me in
go.
the Telegram, bro.
We're at this crazy stage of the market, man, where like it's ramping up, where projects are being launched more and more, and the community's not growing in tandem. I just wonder what the longevity of all of these projects are when you're splicing the community up every single time, and they're trying to take 100 here, a 500 here, and it's like there's not that much people here. So how do these projects survive? I don't know, but maybe I'm mid curving that a little bit. Like there's still going to be obviously doubling and your chances to make a ton of cash, but from a community perspective, I just don't see new people coming in.
The bull case for Ordinals is that they're going to now have the cultural layer. And as more people come into crypto, we all know that Bitcoin and ETH are like the ways in. Eventually, a lot of that liquidity or people that are fucking around with crypto are going to want to participate in the culture in different ways and own parts of the culture. And so, like, I get the macro idea of the bull case for why Ordinals are going to do extremely well. Also, the novelty of it in this run. That's why we're seeing it do crazy right now. I just see right now the frothiness already and how crazy expensive it is. And I just want to make sure that when I get in and start, spending what little Bitcoin I have, that I'm not just buying a bunch of fucking junk, because that's what ends up happening a lot with NFTs.
It's wild to me the amount of, we both know, Huda, like dealing with Ordinals. We just had Charlie here talking about maybe bringing Ordinals into Nifty Island, and he even admitted and laughed, right? He was like, yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass. And I think, again, yeah, those solutions might be better found in L2s. When it comes, again, to PFP projects and a specific type of genre of NFTs, right, where you do want to have faster transaction and the ability to build all these different mechanics on top of it. I think for Ordinals, I'm looking particularly into like the fine art. That I think, stuff that trades a little slower, that you're not going to be like just flipping and using to log into things and stuff like that. That's where I see the use case for NFTs in Ordinal. When it comes to PFPs, I'm still a little torn. I'm not 100% convinced. I think there's awesome PFPs out there. I've always said, like, there's amazing ones coming out. It's just, yeah, let's see how it plays out. There's definitely a ton of euphoria right now in that space, and that's why I'm sitting on my hands, folks, for good or for worse.
Yeah, great points all around.
I'm literally in the process of trying to see if I missed another mint over here on Say. So somebody save me while I do that. Oh, no. And we're wrapping up. We kept it to a hard hour here as well. So I hope you guys appreciated it. If you are here for the long haul, thank you guys for supporting the channel on a new Friday edition here of NFT Live. Leave a like. If you're on X, repost, do what you can, leave a reply, but all the way through our vibe, our tribe. All right, I'm going to see what the heck is going on here with the Say Dragons. Somebody save me, and then we could kind of get out of here relatively soon.
For the Dragons? Or just say something while you look at that. I don't know. Here's another thing, Huda, right? Like, you look at your bags on ETH, right? Which is, I'm assuming, where most of us have collected NFTs before. And we've asked that question before, Q, right? Where it's like, would you have rather just kept the ETH and sat on it and not? And the answer is a little bit murky, right? Because there are some NFTs that have changed my life and communities that I've joined and people I've met because I minted those NFTs and I was able to get into it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Having said that, a vast majority of them, I would have much rather have just kept the ETH and not bothered.
Yes, sir.
That is what I'm going. That is the primary thought I'm going into Bitcoin with.
Yeah.
So unless I fucking have tremendous conviction in that project and the people there, and that they've been through several cycles, and that they're there for really the culture, and it's not, you know, I'm sorry, man. I think I'm pretty comfy with BTC.
It's facts, bro.
Yeah.
That's exactly
BTC.
it. So well said. Because listen, so many people we already know, scammers, grifters, NFT artists, project founders, all of them at the end of the day are trying to separate you from your Bitcoin and your crypto and vacuum up as much as they fucking can.
Here's
and so
devil's advocate, though. Devil's advocate here. If it's your first cycle, unless you're copy trading any of the guys up here, and again, this is not financial advice. If this is your fucking first cycle, just buy Bitcoin. Just buy ETH. Just buy these tops. Dude, this is my fucking third cycle. Like, I've been here. Like, I feel like I know a little bit enough to be out on the fringes, to be doing the shit that we're doing, and that's the difference. But you're right, Biggie. If in my first cycle I had just bought ETH at fucking $50 or Bitcoin at $1,000, I would be in a much better fucking space. So you see how energetic I get about this.
Yeah,
that's
fair. So go start experimenting on ordinals and then let us know how that goes, man. Come on back and tell the squad here how your ordinals adventures go. But yo, Devin Mangru out here saying, how do you feel about Oni? I mean, you got two Oni Force Ronins up here on stage, so we love it, and I am very excited about what they're going to be doing on ordinals. That might be one of my first ordinal projects that I get into, frankly. Because I've known that they've been working on it for a long time. Brian Lee, I'm Complex, the original Uniforce artist, is heavily involved in creating something, and they have no other expansions already. And I know that whatever they're gonna do, they're gonna try and keep it very affordable as well, and try and value and hook up the original collector. So all of that said, I feel confident that whatever they do on Ordinals is going to be very well thought out, and also.
And how long have you been in part of the community? Since
before day one.
There you go, folks. That's experience.
Yeah. So I was actually airdropped and gifted Oni Force token number 35 by the original team, because I was like friends with all the team way before, and I know Brian Lee from our old clubhouse spaces, and I actually wanted him to do a PFP project with us way before JR and them got convinced him to do it. So yeah, I've been there since day zero, day negative.
And that counts for something, you know, like in my opinion, because I think like when you were going with that question, I agree with you, Q. If you're new here and everything, just buy the coins, sit on them, and go elsewhere. But if you like get on me and you're like, I really want to be a part of the community, I want an NFT, I can't, you know, like I can't live without one. Where should I look for an NFT? What should I do? I would tell you, go to ETH. Go to ETH. There's about 10 of them that have survived already a bear market, that have a strong community, that have been building and everything. Go into the Discords, talk to the founders. These are things you can do because it's such a small space. Get a feel for the vibe and everything, and then going to one of those. I would not tell you go into a Bitcoin PFP, at least not at the moment.
I still think that all it's gonna take is the right catalyst or catalysts for Uniforce to fucking take off again.
What are they?
You could say that for literally every one of those blue chips. Like,
yeah, a lot of the blue chips for sure. But they are one of the original sort of blue chips, and like, you know, they've kind of fallen off. But when they launched, they were like nothing anybody had ever seen in the entire fucking space, and they are truly the original anime PFP. There's so many good things to say about them, and they just have not yet quite gotten the bid that I think that they deserve, and that's why I think they're primed more than most. So I agree with you, Q. I think you could make the argument for a lot of blue chips, but they've already been through a restructuring. They have legit backers, a legit team that they've been establishing, and they've been building a ton of cool shit.
I think it's the product for them. It's the product without royalties. What is the product for Uniforce? They have not figured it out, and we will see. It seems to be a culture-based type of move, right? Like that. I'm not tying.
It's art and IP primarily right now, in culture. Yeah. They don't have much of a product beyond that, but they're working on it.
So we'll see that, guys. I have to move us into any of the last discussions because we got to shut down the episode. We're almost at 2 hours. You know, one of the main reasons and I was talking to the guys about this, but just letting y'all know in the community as we kind of build out here in the open a little bit. One of the reasons why we want to keep it to a hard hour is because we want more people from the outside. And it might be a personal belief. We've had the debates behind the scenes, but it just feels like it's a little bit too much for somebody that sees our content for the first time to even click on something that says an hour and 45 minutes or an hour and 30 minutes. So that's kind of the reason why we want to stay to that hard hour if possible here going forward.
I wonder,
to try to grow.
Is there a way to split the video in two and do like part 1, part 2? I'm curious how that would work.
The production would be a little bit, yeah. I see what you mean. We can talk about that beyond, like, off air.
Sure.
But I like where your head's at with it because
I don't know that we've really tried splitting these long form videos into like 5 to 10 minute videos very well, and maybe we could try that. But what the heck is this 2024 mint? Why are we looking?
Dude, that's your boy Roger Dickerman's art community cabal thing.
He's got something really cool going on here. Really cool. I mean,
man, I have it open in a tab in my computer. I've been tracking it. It's been a slow mint. I think it's very easy to explain why it hasn't minted out, right, Huda?
Well, the price, right? I mean,
the price, it's not cheap, but it doesn't feel extractive to me, especially to somebody that's been building in the space for a long time and has such great connections with all these artists and so articulate. To me, it's just like the opportunity cost and all the shiny objects all around you right now that, why would you sink 0.24 ETH there? And then you're kind of locked in at least for a year, probably more. I mean, ideally, I think minting a pass from this is like, I see it as like something very akin to like Proof and Grayler DAO. Like that's what you're doing, right? Like you're getting in with a community of artists and art collectors that have a very long-term view and are in a very different position than many DJs might be. It's not something you get into.
I wish for that price point and for it being the first one that it would be more than a year, because I don't know the full gist of it, just looking at it briefly, but it sounds like it's just a year pass. But it's like, if this is your like original one and it's a pretty expensive mint pass, I wish it was like, maybe you get an OG roll that does
for a year only, or
it's for the year, but he's been very cryptic, just hinting at what it's going to do. And I do think it's going to be something that it does turn into a piece of art on a specific date. But there might be something more where you get to like burn it, redeem it for like probably a named artist piece of art, maybe a 1/1. We really don't know yet.
There's gonna be like perks and surprises. He's being ambiguous about it, and
there's clearly something bigger here. It's probably more like a mint pass.
That's
really good stuff.
That's what I think is gonna probably be community driven, but also mint pass.
It's undervalued then.
I'm gonna take this seriously because Roger Dickerman, shout out Roger.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll start up our Wednesdays. Top 5 artists this week with Roger Dickerman. He has been the most impressive, one of my favorite guests we've ever had on GM Web 3, and he is more passionate and tapped in to like he's just it's not just like there's so many passionate people.
Professional.
Yeah, he's so professional and I feel like effective. You know what I mean? Like he is just so good at curating art and building those types of connections and staying laser focused on the fine art NFT space right now, that if anybody I think can create a mint pass / art collector community that is going to actually be really fucking legit, it's him.
It's him, dude.
So I'm gonna maybe get this. It is expensive. I haven't looked into it enough, but I'm gonna take it very seriously.
I'm considering getting a second too. For every reason you said, I think there's nobody in the space at his level as good as him, and I respect and love the hell out of guys like Art Gnome. There's so many great art guys in this space, but Roger is next level. He 366 this year going at it, and now seeing the people buying into this too, the artists and the collectors, all tiers, all levels, all whatever. Everybody's into it.
I agree with you guys. Like, it's kind of wild that this isn't selling out more. It's
It's
67
know Roger.
edition.
It's
So-
expensive, and I don't
How
think
do
a lot
people
of
not
people
know Roger.
I
Okay,
think
so
a lot of people don't know him that well, but he has been
And he's not
noticing-
making any wild promises either, which, you know, this place works.
It's probably
on
because
wild promises.
And
So-
Biggie, so he's not making a promise about being a mint pass. Is probably what you guys are
And
talking
that's
about.
smart. That is very smart.
I mean, I kind of, he's not making a promise, but he's hinted heavily. Like he's talked about the evolution. He's being cryptic because he wants people to buy in that believe him. But, you know, again, I think people don't know who he is. I tweeted about it after I bought it, and somebody replied to it like, this is like weirding me out how many people are tweeting about it, and it feels scammy because he had never heard of Roger, which that says it all right there. And
But
I didn't know
Roger's-
Roger before 5 months ago or so.
Yeah, but
I
Roger's
will say
actually been around the space. He's not just somebody
OG.
that showed up. He is a true OG who's been around for at least like 3 or 4 years
Yep.
building, and then he didn't really figure out this product or his focus until the last year or so.
But it would be nice. One criticism I would have, and I understand like being ambiguous, sometimes it's what you need to do in this space so that people don't hang on every little thing you said in the past. But it does seem like a little bit, I don't know, like there's a lack of clarity there for me. Like, for example, yes, so it's a 1-year project, and then I imagine the people that own the pass will have first dibs at extending it for a second year. Okay, like it's you're definitely competing with some very heavy hitters. As phenomenal and great as Roger is, there are very established communities that provide this mint pass experience already, that have launched multiple projects and that already have a proven track
But
record.
not with his rate, not with his reach,
Right.
not with Roger's reach.
I would argue that I'm sorry. I really do like Roger, and he is amazing. But there are people that are very well plugged in.
They're plugged in, but they don't have his reach. Who has better reach than Roger right now in the art scene? Like just
Schiller, Fungible.
I would say the Schiller crew is phenomenal. Roger's a big fan, and I know he's a part of it too. Grayler DAO, amazing. Squiggle DAO, the whole art blocks community. Like there's some. I think in that regard, you need to come to Marfa. Come to Marfa and see.
That's a different. What I'm talking about.
That is the level that you're competing at. That is the level that you're competing at. And just because you know Roger Dickerman and you don't know anybody else doesn't mean that
I'm strictly talking about reach of numbers of who he's able to reach on a daily basis through these threads. That's the only metric that I was talking about. I know that the quality, and there's so many other features to all this, but I was specifically mentioning the reach that he has on the platform everybody lives on day to day.
No, I agree. He's awesome. He's amazing. I wish it would have minted out already. It's something that kind of like made me pull back. Plus, I already have substantial exposure into these types of communities, you know? So it's one of those things that I've been trying to investigate from people that have minted the past, to be like, who's in there? What's being talked about? Is it something that I do need to add to my collection, or can I do without? And I'll just tell you right now, so far, my answer is I can do without. So that should tell you already a lot about what I think I can expect, right? Like, I think if you're new here and you're looking to get into a collector's collective or what have you, yeah, this is a great entry point, because anything that's Grayler DAOs or Squiggle DAO or what have you is going to be way, way more expensive, right? This is just my take, but yeah, I'm still on the fence about it. You might see me pop in there, Huda. It's a tough one, right?
Yeah. It's gonna be a tough choice as that number climbs down.
Yeah.
So
And I've heard like there's a great, like, quite a few like really well-known artists have already joined, right?
Oh,
like,
yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Go ahead and drop some names if you wanted to.
All right, so
I do like that it's on Telegram and not on Discord.
This This might be one of the longest shows we've ever had here. So interesting dynamic
If
that's going on.
2 more hours, bro.
Maybe that's what the Friday show is. You know, Monday through Thursday,
Yeah,
super
bro.
tight.
Friday's chill, bro.
I just gotta bring my food next to me like this did for these.
Let's take a 2-minute break.
No.
Dead air.
No. Cannot do that.
I'll just put my little V friend's elf. I don't even know his character name here, and he can just dance for a little bit while everybody gets some snacks.
Your V elf.
Yeah, my V elf that I stole from the first VCon.
He said that live on air. All right, quickly.
Come at me, Gary.
Last things I got real quick. Just some alpha over here on the Say side. Say Dragons does go live here in a moment. I did drop that link in the private chat. I'll also drop it over here on the community chat. Cool Times. Thanks for Crypto Buffalo checking in on Cool Times live spaces right now. He's covering the Say space pretty much daily at this point. Pallet Exchange made an awesome announcement. The real thing you want to key in on here is their last piece. Although let's go up here just quickly to data. They said we have officially crossed the $9 million volume mark. That's not a lot. Yesterday and the day before marked our 2 highest days of traffic ever, with 59,000 users, 48,000 users to Pallet respectively. Comparing these figures with 600 users a month ago. So incredible growth over there for them. They also said we're announcing something with Cool Time here soon. So look, these NFTs are very cheap. A lot of them. If you want to interact with the largest Say NFT marketplace, I think the time is now. This is not financialized. Do what the hell you want to do. But it sounds like there's something brewing here with the marketplace. Maybe a token here for the NFT marketplace here on Say.
Which marketplace was that?
Pallet.
I gotta bridge something, man. I don't have a lot of liquidity right now to be fucking around with, but you've been selling this so hard, bro, and it does seem like an early opportunity. I want to know more about its Korean origins. I want to understand more about like who
I might have been gotcha here. I saw it. Look, I saw someone was interviewing one of the co-founders, not Korean, like an American dude. So I need to.
Fake news.
Well, he was one of the first devs for Robinhood, right? Is one of the things that I've read up on.
Yeah, I don't know if they got investment from Korea or something like that. I don't know where that came into my play in my talkings with people that know the network. So maybe we need to come back and
we're issuing our retraction right now. So everybody clip this and post it out there so everybody knows that we know Say is not a Korean operation.
Maybe they're based. I don't know. They were definitely American dudes though. For the most part, it seemed like. So, anyways, guys, 2-hour show here officially. But all the way damn through. Marty McFly, Jack's Hideaway, Devin Mongru coming through. Says he hasn't bought an NFT in about a year. So yeah, this is the spot you want to be if you want to get back into the game, I guess. Squashman, Cam Taylor, congrats on your recent mints. DP, Choina, I mean, Easy and Crypto Elf. You guys are. Yeah, you stayed till the goddamn near end, so appreciate it all the way. Let's go around the box here and then head out because I'm fading quickly.
Oh my god,
this guy needs some sugar in his blood.
There's only so many. I've been directing like this for the entire thing.
I know your little fingy's got to be so tired, man.
That's a lot of work.
Adderall,
dude. Yeah. There's a lot of work that goes into hosting the way you do. Like really, it's not some brainless thing. You have to be on the whole fucking show. So you do a great job.
The hardest part is actually thinking of something to fucking say while you're doing all this shit.
Yeah, well, let's talk about how Say is a Korean-backed project.
They might have
just make shit up.
Wow.
Okay, look.
This is another thing I could do here on the show. It's amazing. I love doing stuff like that. Come in here with that energy.
No, sir.
Biggie Poppins, let's Huda. I think you had the something there. Let's just go around the box.
I don't know if I did, but I don't know. Okay, after this 2-hour Friday show, I'm excited to tell you guys we're actually going 7 days a week. So look forward. No, I'm just fucking with you. Guys. It was a really, really fun show. I do like the new Friday show, the casual Friday show. I love it. Was a blast. Can't wait to be back with you on Monday. Can't wait to see what the hell this market's going to do, because I don't think anyone can make sense of it right now. But hope you all have a great weekend.
Love it. Biggie Poppins.
Dude, OVOT fam, always a great time. And yeah, if you want to see more of at least these two weirdos right here at the bottom, tune in tomorrow. I'm going to be on there chopping it up with Huda and God knows who else he will have on the show. So love you.
Inside NFTs over on YouTube.
Ooh, okay. Drop that link in the private chat and I'll get it on there.
Yeah, well, this has been a great episode of Outside NFTs. if you want to get inside.
Okay, hold on real quick. We got a report here from the block. God damn it, Frank. Say sees trading spike centered in South Korea.
Oh, yeah.
Say gaining traction. The chain's degen focused online community seems to have connected particularly with the South Korean retail market, with trading surge on local exchanges.
Look at that.
When you do hungry.
When you do a simple Google search, you actually find out real information. I love to see it. So the team is not Korea backed, but there is an actual community there, and that's good news. And now
Korea retail.
I feel like we have some more actual real information to report on. So thank you for that. And yeah, our vibe, our tribe.
I'm grilling Gift Dead next Friday.
OVOT. OVOT stands for our vibe, our tribe, and that's what it's all about here. That's our mantra. And y'all who are here who already know that, big love to y'all. Any new friends, hopefully you're sharing it out with some new people, then there you go. OVOT to y'all too.
Yo, shout out to Charles from Nifty Island for stopping by. That was a G move as well. We will see
Wednesday.
you guys on Monday, and I'm dropping this Inside NFTs that you guys can check out over the weekend to check out Huda and Biggie Poppins here. You guys have been awesome.